How's it going, all you wood nerds? I'm Tyler. Today, I'm gonna be showing you how I made a freaking sweet shelf for about 15 bucks. Let's check it out. Woo-woo! I was extremely excited to get this project started. So you know what that means? I got wood. Redwood. All right, wood nerds, let's talk about materials. I went down to my local home improvement store and got 3 boards, 2 of which are redwood 1x6s, and they're actually made for fencing, so I saved a little bit of money. The other one, pine 1x4. Each of these cost me less than $3. I also picked up a sheet of plywood. This is an 1/8 inch thick. The entire sheet cost me 15 bucks, but I'm gonna be using that for other projects. If you get something cut like this in the store, it'll run you about $5. Total, we're looking at less than 15 bucks. Woo! All right, I didn't wanna do this, but we're gonna have to. These boards are ugly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take them out back, I'm gonna sand the crap out of them, measure them, and cut them to the lengths that I'm looking for. Let's take a look at that clip right here. Prepare yourself. Man, that was a lot of fun. This is what I came back with. I've got 2 redwood boards at 28 inches, 2 redwood boards at 22 inches, and 2 pine boards at 22 inches. Let's go ahead and slap these babies together and get this shelf started. Step 1, nerds. I find that if you push the glue into the ends of the boards that meet together and give it a minute or 2 before a second bead of glue, they stick much better. The ends of the boards are porous and absorb a lot of the first application. As you can see here, it's exactly what I'm doing. As for the second application of glue, don't be afraid to be generous. You can clean up the mess that squishes out with a rag. Unless you plan on doing a lot of sanding later on, make sure you do a good job of cleaning up that glue. Any leftover glue on your project will show through, especially if you stain. To hold these 2 boards together and keep everything at a right angle while I work on this, I have this sweet tool that I got from Harbor Freight. It's definitely a keeper for my nerd tool bag. For these shelves, I'm going to be using wood glue and nails. I'm using a nail gun here, and I'm going to put about 4 nails in each corner, but you can use a hammer and nails or even screws if you like. Don't forget to clean up that glue that squishes out. I already pushed glue into this board. Let's go ahead and add some more, use that tool from Harbor Freight, and nail this thing together. And I did the exact same thing here as we just saw. One last time for good measure. Do everything the exact same. Now that we're done with the frame, we're going to add the shelves. I set mine in 9 inches on each side. After I made my marks, I used a speed square to draw a couple lines to help me guide my shelves into place. And I did that for both sides. To keep the mess down, I added glue to the frame and not the shelves. This ensured when I slid the shelves in, I didn't get glue all over the frame. If you measured accurately and made good cuts, the shelves will fit in here pretty snug. This is a good thing. The shelves are smaller and fit pretty tight in the frame, so I only use 3 nails for these. You can do whatever you like, but 3 seems sufficient for me. Thumbs up. Flip this biscuit around and do the exact same thing on the other side. The steps are the exact same for the second shelf. Congratulations, nerds, it's time to sand. I'll be using this foam sanding block just to get the edges, but if you're doing something a little bit more serious, I suggest using real sandpaper. Alright, it's almost time to put the back on. First though, we need to run a bead of glue around all the edges. Line it up well, make sure it's square, and carefully put the back on. My plywood is warped, so I had a little bit of a measurement issue, but I'll show you here in a second how I took care of that. When putting the back on, I highly recommend you use nails. Screws would be a ton of work, and if you're using a nail gun, this plywood is really soft, so make sure that you dial the pressure down so it doesn't shoot straight through the wood. I use the speed square to help line up the shelves so I can nail the back to them easily. Remember when I said I had a measurement issue? The back hangs off just a little bit, enough to bug me. I used a sanding block here, but it really didn't do the job. I had to take it out back and use the belt sander to finish it up. We're almost done, nerds. Last thing we have to do before we treat the wood is use some wood filler. Whether you use screws or nails, you're going to have some holes in this wood. If you like them to stand out, that's fine. I like to fill mine in using this wood filler. Just get some on your finger or thumb, rub it in the holes. Make sure you clean it up and sand it down. If you leave it there, when you stain, it's definitely going to show. I tried to use the foam sanding block to remove the excess wood filler. It wasn't really doing a good job though. Surprisingly, just licking my fingers and rubbing it on the wood was enough to get most of it off. Before applying the stain, I always use a pre-stain treatment. It ensures that the stain that you add on absorbs evenly and gives you a nice even color. If not, sometimes it can be kind of blotchy. Woohoo, nerds! We're almost done. Now it's time to stain. I chose Minwax Red Mahogany for this project. I really like the dark red color that it gives the wood. There's plenty to choose from though, you don't have to use this one. You could even paint if that's what you're looking to do. Don't be afraid to apply too much. You can always wipe off the excess afterwards. It'll actually help in the long run by getting into all the natural cracks and crevices that wood has. I think you get the point here. Just follow the grain, rub it in all over the place, and you're set. I'm gonna fade out, and when I fade back in, I'm gonna show you the post-stain treatment that I chose to use. And here it is in all its glory. Min-wax polyurethane. This stuff's the bomb, dude. I use the clear satin. It protects the wood without making it look too shiny. Before you use it, make sure you stir the crap out of it. All the good stuff's at the bottom, and you want it all mixed in well. I applied all over this thing. On the top, on the bottom, on the inside. The only thing I didn't do was the back. This is going to be resting up against paint, and any of these stains or the polyurethane treatment, it's going to kind of want to stick to that paint, so I left it blank. You can do whatever you like though. We did it. We're done, nerds. Now all you have to do is wait. I give it about a day, that way the polyurethane treatment doesn't stink up my house. But after that, put it up on your wall, decorate it, and enjoy it. Let's take a look and see how mine turned out. Didn't I tell you nerds that shelf would turn out sweet? It did. Well, if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. If you have any friends or family or other wood nerds that you might know that would like the video, please share. Otherwise, I'd like to thank you for watching. See you next time.